Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. Had a little microphone issue, so I'm running a few seconds late, but hopefully everybody's having a great Tuesday. Not sure what is going on in the slot car world today, where you're located. Hopefully you're having a great day and had a chance to get on the track. I was just admitting to my brother Dusty that I really have not had a whole lot of time the last month to really put some laps in. I feel like I'm a little behind the eight ball when it comes to some of those things. But we're here to talk slot cars tonight, and that's what we're going to do. And hopefully everybody's having a great day. I can't seem to find the chat. Hold on. Window, comments and reactions. There you guys are. All right. So it looks like the chat's busy. 12 likes already. 40 people online. 41. Awesome. Thanks for joining tonight. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. The weather's pretty nice here. It's warm. I just took the dogs a walk and just got home. And yeah, so good evening. But no better time than the present to talk slot cars. So Dusty texted, whoa, hang on. What happened? There we go. Dusty texted me and said that he had pre-ordered a Corvette. So it looks like another shipment of the test liveries have made it out there and starting to ship out again. So that's good to see. I think that we went through them pretty quick this last time. So, but Chris Freder, welcome, Chris. Let's see, overlays. We might as well turn on the Two Lines logo. Yeah, so Chris is in, and so is Chris. So we got Daniel, John Tucci, the Fingers. Happy Tuesday from Slot R. Hey, Dave. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to have you. Thanks for hanging out late. Jump in the beginning. Appreciate that. But, hey, Doug. Good to have you. John Tucci. Daniel, yes, Chris is in Ohio. He lives Plain City. Yeah, there you go. I'm catching up. John Albright is in the house. Gene, hopefully, Gene, you're healing up well. Taking it easy on that arm. Nobody's home. Good evening, enabler. Slot Journal. Hey, Mark. Good to have you. Hey, Tom. Hopefully everybody's doing well. 96 at 5 p.m., sitting with the AC at 73. There you go, John. It's not quite that warm here, but we're in the mid-80s, I think, today. It did warm up on us. What braid do you guys use for replacements? There's quite a few choices out there when it comes to braid. I like Slotted's competition braid. It's not expensive. It's pretty thin and does a great job. Works well. Lasts a long time. Doesn't tend to come apart. I know a lot of people like the NSR competition or the racing braid that NSR has. But I'm a fan of that Slotted. It works really well. But I'm sure other people have answered this question because I am not even a third of the way through the early comments. So that's what I like. I can get it from Bruce, so I usually pick it up down there. Hey, Danny. Good to have you, man. Hopefully you've been well. It's been a while. Going green in one next time by. Here you go. Hey, Steve. Hey, B2. Welcome. Hey, Greg. Thanks for joining tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Oh, wow. Somebody just gave me a big thumbs down. Thanks. Hey, Pistol Pete. Hope you're doing well. It's funny, there's a big animation, so maybe it was a mistake. I'm like, I haven't gotten started yet. At least let me say something to make you mad. That's funny. So, Steve Sweeney, welcome. Mark, good evening. Danny, if you're behind, what does that make me? That's funny. Hey, Nick V. So, guys, what's going on in your world? I've got. Well, let's see. Do I have my camera? Yeah, my camera is on. This is what I've started. I haven't gotten very far, but at least I've started. Okay, that's what we're gonna. The land barge build is in progress. I have not gotten very far, but I've got my plate out. I've got my parts out. I'm getting ready to cut some brass, looking at the wheelbase. So, yeah, we're getting there. I'm guessing a little bit later I will jump into that, do some scratch building. Maybe I will have a roller by the end of the night. The only thing that I might be missing is I don't think that I have a guide. So I'll rummage through this big pile of crap over here and see if I've got an old guide that I can retrofit to make it fit this. Because I will be a fan. I won't lie. I don't love the big. I'm not a fan. That's what I meant to say. Of the big commercial guides, although they mount in that bracket really easy. But that's what I've got on the Jake Dyke Special, and I don't love it. I'm such a fan of the slot invasion guides. So, hey Daryl, welcome. Hey Dan Curry, you're not late. Nope, just getting started, man. Just getting started. Hey Racer X. Hey MP, what's up? How are you? Massimo, thanks for sharing your experience at the UK Slot Festival. A lot of us guys in the chat, we did not get to go to that, and so we got to live vicariously through you guys, and I appreciate the great coverage. So all of you guys did a great job. I'm very appreciative. So thanks for helping us feel like we were a part of it. So great job. Hey, Richard Webb. Good morning. Hey, show me slots. What's going on? How are you, Rob? Hey, George. George, yesterday was my wife's birthday, and we were out to dinner, and I logged in to take a peek at your live stream, and she's like, get off your phone. So I had to watch after the fact, but great live stream. It got me motivated to get all my car parts out for my scratch build. So, hey, Cyberg. Good to have you. Hey, Code. Hey, Eric. John Pierce from Mississippi. Welcome, John. Devil Dog. What's up? Yeah, it's probably easier. I feel like I waste so much time just saying hey to everybody, but I appreciate when people are tuned in. So tonight, scratch build. I have been looking at lots of different chassis designs, and I really, really wanted to do something different this time than just the standard. But I'm just not very good at this. So I think I'm just going to stick it out with the standard chassis design, and maybe my next chassis I'll get creative and have some type of floating motor pod type thing going on. So I've already reserved the fact that I'm not going to be super, super fast, but we'll make it get around the track, and it'll be my first 125 25th scale. I still haven't decided on the livery. I've got a couple options. I thought I would design my own livery, and it would be my channel sponsor, Roast. So we would do a roast coffee, vintage looking. I was thinking like maybe like an off-white top, and then that burgundy red side on the sides, and then kind of a cream top, and then inverse like the logo like it is here, like on the back here, and then Roast Coffee, Chillicothe, Ohio. So I might do that. I think that might be fun, and a big roast on the top. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I need to put the rest of the body together. I need to get the hood on and the bumpers, because it is going to be a NASCAR. So I think I might shoot all of that the same color. I don't know if I'll go chrome with the grill and bumpers. I might black them out. I haven't decided. So that's what I'm working on. We're going to just go with a basic chassis design. Nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. I just want to be able to get it to run some laps. Speaking of running laps, this past week, actually it's been a while, I took all the tables that I had and I temporarily set up a Carrera oval, 2-lane oval test track back around the corner in this other room that you can't see. And I still have some work to do. I want to elevate the turns a little bit, just to give them a little bit of banking, just a slight banking. I need to put some guardrails on just so cars don't fly off the track, so I can actually start pushing them. I want to rewire the track. Right now, I'm running it in analog mode using the tech slot box, which works perfectly. And I'm using my the True Speed controllers on it in analog mode. So I want to set up Smart Race to do analog timing. But then I started thinking that I really like to be able to dial in my brakes. And so maybe I'll rewire the track to be able to run analog, and then buy another Arduino and install timing in it like I'm running on Race Coordinator and Fast Laps on the main track. So that's kind of my thought process. And then the more I think about it, the more I realize I've got a few more feet of space in that room. I could go up to about 16 feet. Actually, it's about 20 feet, but I'm reasonably, I could go 12 to 16 feet long with the track. And I'm seriously thinking about doing a wood-routed oval. If I'm 48 inches wide, I know I can do 3 lanes. I probably can squeeze 4 lanes on that. Just trying to decide how wide should that outside be from the outside lane, the slot, to the wall on a 4-foot wide track. Do I need 4 inches, which is the lane spacing I'm looking at? Or do I need to go like 6 on that outside from the last lane to the wall? If I go 6, that puts my inner lane at a pretty tight radius. I think it puts it at about 9 inch radius, 18-inch diameter. So I don't know. So any thoughts on that? You guys that have built your own, like George or Tad or Harry or anybody who might be in the chat. So who all have I missed? Daryl's in the house. HSF Racing. Good evening. Welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks, MP. I appreciate that. Either slotted or NSR. Talking about braid. Yeah, I like both of those braids. Hey, MB Auto Detail. Thanks. I really appreciate it. There's my brother Dusty. Hey, thanks for tuning in, bud. Hey, Tad. Yeah, Tad. I don't know if you just heard that question. Your thoughts would be good. Bourbon tonight. That's funny. How's the showdown build going? Well, that's what I'm working on. Pistol Pete. That's what I'm working on. I'm hoping that by maybe the end of this evening, I'll have a chassis completed. So, John Albright. That's okay, man. Hey, if I deserve the thumbs down, give me a thumbs down. I'm not above that. Dusty, I just poured a little Old Forester 1924. There you go. Nobody's home practiced soldering today. Solder brass today. Very good. George, need your help? Of course, probably need your help. Chris, soaking the knee in the Gulf of Mexico. There you go. John Mark is down in Florida. Lucky dog. Johnny Pro. Are Cincy slots prices negotiable? Johnny Pro. I don't. You would have to call Josh and talk to him, or talk to Bruce. I think that if you were buying multiples of something, he might be able to work you out a deal. He has been posting a bunch of different cars. There's one out there right now that he had one last year and I missed it. And I'm just curious about it because it's a brand of car that I've not had much luck with. And he's got another one that I'm really interested in. I should probably just go ahead and order it. But by the time I say that, it'll probably be gone. But he's had a lot of great cars added to the website that I've had to scratch my head going, ooh, do I really want that? Try this, Marty. Okay, I'll have to go see if I can get to that link, George. It's funny. It doesn't want to let me get to that link through Ecamm Live. I'll check it out. Let's see here. Oh, George is asking me to solder on camera. George, you're funny. You are a funny guy. No progress on your land barge, Tom? Yeah. Yeah, George, I have no business soldering on camera. Yeah, busted by the wife. She was like, just put your phone down. What's so important that you have to interrupt? It was her birthday dinner. I'm like, it's George's live stream. Gonna need to take the Evelyn Woods Speed Racer course. There you go. And Johnny Pro, I'm going to say no. What was the question? Dusty, I'm going to say no. Yeah, probably it might be tough to get him to move on some of that stuff. Dan Curry, does anyone know if the new wireless controllers that use AAA batteries go to sleep like the older ones? I'm guessing they do. I don't have any experience with them, but I am sure that they probably go to sleep just to save battery life, which the other ones do that, and that's a nice feature. But Dan, I don't know. If anybody else knows that, jump in there. Greg, I just finished my third land barge, and now for the trials to see which one I will send in. Nice, Greg. I still have so much work to do to mine. I'm a little disappointed that I've drug my feet. I've had the model kit for months. Hey, Steve. What's up, brother? Hey, Jay. John Mark, hope you're having a great time. Yeah, I do too, man. I hope you're enjoying the beach and the family time. Not needed on a land barge. George, what was not needed? Oh, the simplest chassis work good. Okay. I thought that's what you were alluding to. Jim, go with what you know. Thanks, Jim. That's what my plan is. Track project on hold. I understand, Steve. I actually was playing around with it the other day. That's cool. The Blue Angels practice. Thanks. Lots of business this past week. That's good. The fingers. I think it'll be a fun livery. Like, right? Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It is an exciting week here in Chillicothe because this coming weekend is the Southern Ohio Forest Rally. My friend Jeremiah and some guys I went to school with, Dusty and I went to school with. They're a little younger than us, but they put on this forest rally that's phenomenal, and it's sad a little bit because Ken Block used to come every year, and Travis Pastrana, and both of them, we know that we lost Ken last winter, and so this will be the second year without him, and then Travis is not coming because he's taking time off from racing to heal up his back and all of his other injuries. But still should be a great event this weekend. Thursday night, they do a little run through town and through our park, and there's a jump at the end of the park. It's a 1 mile course, and there'll be probably 3,000 or 4,000 people here to watch it. So it'll be fun. So empire building takes time. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Daryl, reverse rose colors would look cool. I think so too. So I may run with that. Dusty Hawked on his way. Hey Ben, good evening. Drink roast coffee, the official coffee of Two Lines Tuesdays. That's right. John Hall, we are in Vero Beach the first week in May, and they were flying all around us. That's cool, Greg. John, I bet the Blue Angels were amazing. I just watched their latest show that was released. Yeah, I've seen the Blue Angels, and I've seen the Thunderbirds. Dusty and I, when we were kids, we got to see the Thunderbirds, I think it was, Dusty, while we were at Myrtle Beach. Or maybe it was the Blue Angels, now that I think about it. They were flying out. They were doing an air show there out of the Myrtle Beach Airport, and where our campgrounds where we stayed, they were flying right over, which was awesome. So really cool. Run the camera while you're building. So you guys just want to see how bad of soldering I am. I'll take the outside lane, Marty, on your wood track when it's done. All right, nobody's home. Sounds good. But we like to do a rotation. Everybody gets 3 minutes in each lane. Steve. So, Steve, you mentioned something here, and I think I've been struggling with the exact same thing. I need a little slot therapy, been struggling with my slot motivation. I have a lot of cars to build. I'm training for a mountain bike race at the end of the month, and maybe after that. I've struggled too this past month. I think it's a weather change. There's so much to be doing in the yard and around the house. And I've just really struggled to find time to be down here, in the slot car track. And I know that I miss it, but, I'm at that place where I really need to drop some weight too. I've been trying to, step up my pickleball game and play a couple times a week and get some exercise in. And I really just, I need to drop some weight, and, it's summertime. It's much easier to do it then. And so standing down here playing with slot cars for 4 or 5 hours at a time, a couple times a week, isn't really fitting into the schedule. But it's funny how the hobby is. I miss it. Like I really, even though it's right here, all I have to do is just got to be motivated to get down here. And I enjoy when Dusty and John Mark are over here, or Josh or Daryl, or, any of the guys, show up to run some laps. It's much more fun when you're not by yourself. But so that's why I really need to get started on the scratch build, but I've been procrastinating. So yeah, I get it, Steve. I get it. It's tough sometimes. That's where Tuesday nights for me has really helped me manage that a little bit. I look forward to Tuesdays and chatting with you guys and talking about slot cars. And then usually I'll hang out at the track for a little bit, test a few cars, get some laps in. But some days it's tough. So, Gene, cool that you're thinking about a wood routed oval. If you don't have the proper room for 4 lanes, make it 3. Gene, I think if I go 4 foot wide, I shouldn't have any problems doing 4 lanes. I wouldn't mind a 3 lane. It's not that hundreds of people are going to be driving on it. So 3 lanes would be enough. Just curious to know what that outside lane needs to be. Daryl says I need a new fly project. That's funny. And here's why. There's nothing wrong with the Carrera track that I've built. But it would be one. I think it would be fun content for the channel. Building my own track, routing it out, but it's a small project. It wouldn't cost a whole lot. I could even, most people use braid. I could even, it's air conditioned down here. It's heated. It's never too hot or too cold. I could use copper tape and keep the project really cheap. And talk about that, because people don't usually talk about that. Usually people are routing for a braid, and if I decide that's what I want to do, I could always, the copper tape is cheap. I'll have $15 or $20 in copper tape to do a 3 or 4 lane track. So I'm thinking that might be a route to go. Nothing wrong with the Carrera. I just feel it's kind of narrow. I could go up to 230 turns and widen it out to take advantage of the 4-foot tables that I have, but I kind of need my tables here. Dusty and I don't really have anything to set up on, work on our cars now, because I've absconded the tables. So that started me thinking. I kind of laid it out. I think I can build this track for less than $200 pretty easily. And that would be wiring it up and everything. So, if I go that route, if I order the router bit to recess for braid, that'll bump the price up a little bit. But, I'm thinking at least 12 feet at a minimum. That would be one full size sheet of MDF and a 4x4. But that would only put the straights at about 6.5 feet long. And I think that's what George's is. I think yours is 12 feet end to end. And then I think Harry's build, I was looking on Home Racing World, his build is 16. He did 2, 4x8 sheets of MDF. And so that puts that gets you an extra, your 8 or 9 feet of straightaway. But if you go too long, then it feels like Martinsville. I'm not 2 drag strips with corners on the ends. I'm not sure I would love that, but we have a local track. It's a 3/8 mile dirt oval called the Atomic Speedway. We grew up going there, and it's a very fast track. And I was trying to figure out what it would take to build that to scale, and that's still a pretty big. You're talking about 61 feet of lane length, or the outside edge. So it's a lot wider. So you're at about, 6 or 7 feet wide and 14 feet long. So to do one to scale for that. So anyway, that's a little side rant. Let's see here. Oh, great. Yeah, Steve, good luck on your race, man. Keep training hard. Let's see. Tad says, Marty, I'm trying to catch up. Marty, my outside lane from the slot to the fence is about 5 1/4. My outside lane width is 4 inches slot to slot. Outside lane length is 12, 10 slot to slot. I have 4.5 lane spacing. Okay. So Tad, I was going to go with 4-inch lane spacing. Do you recommend 4 or 4.5? Tad, yours is a 2-lane, correct? So 5 1/4. So 4 might not be enough. So if I go to 5, 5.5, that would give me a little extra space. Okay. No, George, she doesn't hate you. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, I've had a lot of rain. Our trails were pretty muddy for quite a bit. We're getting rain tomorrow. Greg, I built my first chassis, was successful, and it runs smooth. The soldering leaves much to be desired, but I'm confident the second one will be much better. See, so that was my thing, is my soldering turned out halfway decent on my first one, and then my second one, the soldering is a disaster. And I don't know if I just rushed it or I'm not sure exactly. I think I was having problems with my soldering iron. So, yeah. I'm hoping this third try will be a little better. Hey, Day Trip. Good evening. I've been shopping for a controller upgrade like a DeFalco, but they all seem sold out everywhere for the 301, 302. Everyone has info on more coming. Code. I think that if you want, so here's my thing. The 302 is great. The 304 is fantastic. Just having the ability to dial in some traction control, I really think is worth the $60. Now, if you buy a 302, you could always upgrade it if you're pretty confident in soldering. You could, upgrade it later, but I think it's probably easier just to order it that way. So I have a 304. I've thought about picking up a couple of the 302s as spares here. And the more I think about it, if I buy a spare, I'm going to be at least a 304, or maybe my 304 becomes my spare here. And I go the next, I go up one more. Really not going to be like any of the DeFalcos you pick, you're going to love. They're really, really good controllers. But they're some of the best. And to get that, you pay a little bit more. So, but I know lots of people that run the Professor motors, and they're very happy with those. So you have options out there, but Cyberg, question, more like FYI. Slots, Pixels, Bugs, Spain is giving away 8 cars for reaching 10K subs. Cars from SRC, SCX, Scale Auto, Avant Slot, including 2X. That's pretty cool, Cyberg. I'm not even close to 10K. And shout out to MP, man. What crazy growth you've had the last month, dude. Well done, well played. I'm proud of you, man. Probably what I'm most proud of is there was this big kind of thing about hitting 10K, I think, or 9K, and who was going to be the first one to get there. And you just kind of blew everybody out of the water. So well done for you, man. I'm proud of you. And it couldn't happen to a better guy. Great job. But man, it's awesome to see the growth from all the channels. So if this guy's trying to hit 10K, I'm not super familiar with. I think I've watched some of his videos. Yeah, he's giving away some cars. That's awesome. Yeah, Daryl says you can go straight to Jim DeFalco, and he will build what you want. Dusty, I am not doing sound Thursday. They've not asked me to, unless it's a last minute thing again. But I figured you were probably headed down. Text me. I'll be there, so we can meet up. Todd from work is going too, so to watch. Yeah, contact DeFalco correctly. Let's see. What else do we have? Anything else? Hey, Joshua Terry. Welcome. Glad you're here. Appreciate it. Does the thumbs up disappear for you guys after you click it? The one John Albright gave me, it disappeared. Yep. Wait till you see the F-35, Marty. Let's see here, Anthony. Did I miss something? Tad, thanks for the details on your track. I appreciate it. Slot Car League of Champions. Has anyone tried the Ninko 128 scale? If so, are they any good? 128 scale? I have not tried. I've not seen. Josh let me borrow. His was like a metal chassis that I think Ninko made, but it wasn't. I don't think it was a 128 scale. Dusty, you think it was a Blue Angels? I think so too. I think that's what we got to see. And let's see here. Hey, Phil, welcome. Let's see here. Hey, Michael Squire. Good to have you. Are you talking about the carts? Oh, the Ninko 120. Are the carts 128 scale? They're a different scale. They're not 132nd. That's for sure. Yeah, Rob, you said that this time of year there's way more distractions. It's a blessing and a curse. I would agree. There's so much. And once the weather picks up, there's so much to be doing outside. So yeah, it does make it tough. But when I don't get time down here, I do miss it. I really do. It is one of my favorite things of all the hobbies that I've done my entire life. Picking up musical instruments and playing the guitar and the bass and drums and some of that is one of my favorite things to do still today. It's one of the few hobbies that I've stuck with my entire life. Riding bicycles is a hobby that I've stuck with my entire life. And slot cars is one of those that, Dusty and I've talked about it before. We wish we would have started a long time ago. We played with them as kids and then kind of forgot about them until late. And we realized just how much we've been missing over the years. It's been a lot of fun. Slot Journal, trying to find a way to combine slot cars with my summertime interests. It just, I take advantage of rainy days. I take advantage of bad weather. For me, it's late nights when I'm struggling to sleep. Those kind of things. Hey, I totally agree. Summertime chores and travel have hampered my track building project, and I'm starting to miss it. Yeah, Scott, it is. Not that it gets in the way. It's just that slot cars are, it's a very convenient winter hobby, right? It's why most of the time club tracks, race from November to March, April, right? And then there's less racing during the summer months just because it's harder to get people involved. So I get it. Yeah, nobody home. I already built a 132nd. Yeah, it should be. I mean, you've got a lot more room to work with the 125th scale for sure. Nico track is wide. I think you can drive some 124 scales on it. Hey, Slot Car Hub, welcome. Leave the camera on when building the track. Yeah, I mean, I really don't think that it would take too long to build. If I've got some vacation time coming up that I really need to take, and I'm thinking about just taking a day, and I mean, I have no doubt that I couldn't build the table and route the track and prep it for paint in one day. Maybe even get a coat of paint on it in one day. So I think over a couple of days, I could probably have cars running on it. John Train. My granddaughter went to an event at a local college called Jill of All Trades with a group of girls from her high school. She showed me the soldering sample she did. I'll have her solder for me. John, that's awesome. So she learned the right way. Area 51 is 11 by 6. Oh, so you're a little wider, George. Nice. That probably helps. So your turns aren't so tight. And then Harry's is 14 by 5. Okay. So if I stay with 4, which is what I have room for, it's going to be a little narrow, right? It's going to be a little narrow. That's all right. I'm trying to figure out how to get more workspace in the room with the track. Right now, I'm dragging crap out of the bar. My wife says it will be good, Marty. If you're busy building a track, you can be eating cookies. Fits your weight loss plan. There we go. All right. Thanks, Michael. I saw a guy make furniture out of $50 spare wood, but he used $10,000 worth of equipment to do it. DK Moon, okay. So when I first started my channel, I did a few test videos, and I thought I was going to do I love to do woodworking, but I didn't really have a shop for it. And creating woodworking content takes forever and really slows you down. Like you just got to move the camera, and you got to make a cut, and you got to measure, and you got to get a close up, and it's just the B-roll was just crazy. And I follow a few really good woodworking channels, and it's obvious that they pay somebody to edit their videos. And so I gave up on a woodworking channel. But the biggest thing, my biggest pet peeve is build cutting boards and create a business and make cutting boards. And then you look at the shop, and the guy's got a saw stop table saw and a huge planer, and he just has, like you said, $10,000-$15,000 worth of woodworking equipment. And that's just good for those guys. My nephew has a fantastic woodworking shop, and I keep telling him that he needs to start a YouTube channel. He does Instagram, and does a really good job with it. But he's like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, when I pull the camera out, it slows the process down so much that it kind of sucks the fun out of woodworking. Sorry, didn't mean to get on a tangent about woodworking. A braided wood track will last for years, routed and recessed. So, John, that's what I thought I would do is maybe start with copper tape, and see how much the track gets used, and then eventually recess and route. Ultimately, that would be the end game. Yeah, Anthony, thanks. It's fun. I thought I would be bored of an oval, but when you're running a car that you've built, that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Mad P, welcome. Thanks, man. And that's another car that I'm working on is the Maverick. So the Mad P printed for me. So good stuff. Nothing wrong with copper tape. My 6x14 4-lane oval was copper tape. It was in an enclosed patio and lasted for years. Once you see how smooth copper is, you won't want braid. I could see that. I know a lot of guys complain if you have a lot of weather change. If you have a lot of weather change, then it might not stick so well. So yeah, that's what I was worried about is like peeling issues. And I think it's the temperature change. If you have a big range of temperature change, you might struggle with that. Also, how you prepped the surface before you put the tape down is probably another. I've heard people say that the copper tape, they really like it because it's so smooth. And obviously it's a pretty flat setup. So thanks, Dave. I appreciate the confidence with that. X slot was the Ninko 128 scale. Okay, so that's actually Slot Car League of Champions. I have played with one of those. I had it for about a month. My friend Josh sent it home with me the first time we went to Cincy Slots, and that car was awful. It just didn't get any traction at all. And it wasn't my car, so I didn't want to like do tire treatment or anything like that. I couldn't find silicones to fit the wheels that was on it. So I ended up, because it's a weird scale, right? It just didn't really hook up well on the Carrera track. Cool car, great looking chassis. Like it was very, very smooth car, very quiet, but it was slow. Oh, welcome back, Wild Man. I heard in a previous live that someone was 3D printing track scenery. Are those paid STL files or free ones? Any direction is appreciated. Daniel, I think there's a lot of free stuff out there on Thingiverse for slot cars or model railroading or things like that. And I think people use stuff kind of multi-purpose. So if you just search like 1/32 scale, you can find some stuff out there. Yeah. So I think there's some 3D printed stuff that you could do. I know Billy and Amanda. Billy was at Sunday Slots. He was 3D printing a bunch of racetrack scenery. So yeah, B2. Yeah, good to have you, Josh. Let's see here. What else? If I missed anything. Looking forward to building this track, and then that's funny. 4 1/4 works fine too for lane spacing. As far as the apron, 1/25 cars will hit the fence a little at 5 1/4. If you slide out, a 6-inch apron would be ideal. But for 1/32 cars, it would be for both 1/25 and 1/32. So my plan was a 6-inch apron on the outside lane and then 4-inch lane spacing, which is what Carrera is. So that was kind of my plan on a 4-foot wide. So maybe I should stick with 3 lanes at 4 feet, which would be fine. Hey, Black Cobra, don't worry about being late. Thanks for joining. No, sir, I ran it every day. No oxidization, no peeling either, but the tape on a clean surface and it will stay put. It's designed for stained glass work. It can take some punishment. There you go. Yeah, and the nice thing is you can find it at Hobby Lobby. So I need advice or a killer car to smoke B2 with. What class are you racing, Josh? Hey, collection. Welcome back. Yeah, Josh, a little more information. What type of track are you running on? We can definitely make some recommendations. If you pick up a Thunder slot Can-Am car, you can be really competitive with that. But if you're talking about Carrera cars, most of the Carrera cars are pretty close. I'm a big fan of the 917s. I feel like they're really, really quick. My Audi R8 is really a good car too. Dusty's got a Ford GT that's really, really fast. So you've got some options when it comes to that. I think the thumbs began disappearing yesterday. YouTube is always changing things up. Yes. B2 question. Any new news on the MR slot car C1 Corvette? I don't think there's any new news. I don't know that there's a timeline that anybody's talked about of when we might see those released. My guess it's probably going to be similar to the Shadow. I think when we saw it at the UK Slot Festival, it was further down the production or the R&D, further down the road than the Shadow was. The Shadow took probably 2 years to bring to market. So I'm guessing we're probably 18 months, 12 to 18 months out on the C1, and that's only a guess. That there are other people who are way more connected to Ernie. I'm not connected at all with about anybody, but that would be my guess, just based on the short time I've been in the slot car hobby and seen some other cars being developed. That I think car development is about a 2-year turn from start to finish. So B2, it's going to be a super popular car. Can't wait to see. I hope it's sooner than that, but I'm going to guess at a minimum, maybe we see it by UK Slot Fest next year. Maybe. I don't know if anybody else has any other ideas. I bought some Tamiya, however you pronounce it, pinstripe tape. Any reviews? I've heard good things about that pinstripe tape. Great for models. Hey, it's a Secret Weber. Let's see here. I know that the season changes. My AC bill goes from 120 to 260, kind of like the leaves dying. Yes. I think about recessed and braided is on a flat track. You can get those chassis low. Right. Yep. Marty, I played drums and guitar also, not the best on guitar, but been a drummer for 25 years, same band for 20. We don't play much anymore, but such a good time. Tad, it is. I have a band. I'm actually wearing, I'm breaking a mortal sin. I'm wearing my band merch. I grabbed a T-shirt out, and it happened to be my band. My band's been together for about 15 years, and we're at that place too where it was a bunch of kids when I was a youth pastor. We put a band together, and now they're all adults and having kids and jobs, and so we just don't get to play much anymore. We gather for Christmas and jam in the living room for the last couple of years, and that's about it. But yeah, it's a wonderful thing in my life. I play guitar every week. I lead worship at my church. I'm the worship leader, and so I get a chance to every Thursday night I play for an hour with the band, and then all Sunday morning we do 3 different sets, so or 2 different sets and a practice. So that's enough to keep me happy. I'll have to grab one of those 128 Ninko cars to show. Slot Car League of Champions, they are kind of spendy, mainly because they don't make them anymore. They're presented really well. Their jewel box is really nice. They're cool cars. They're just don't get your hopes up on performance. Let's see here. What else do we have? George really wants me to do some soldering live. That's what you did, man. I don't need to. I'll work on this later. So, anybody else have? Actually, I think my phone died. No, there's 5% left. So as soon as I would go live on my phone, I don't think it would last very long. Um, sorry, George. Not that you can't come on. I'm happy to bring you on. Um, I'm probably not think. Sorry, George just sent me a. Yep, I am behind based on your pictures, George. That's funny. Um, what else do we have? I'm podcast wrangling started at 10 p.m. Scott, um, you're podcast wrangling. That's funny. I I'm at episode 100 of my other podcast with my buddy Mike. We do a Chillicothe, Ohio oriented podcast. And we are sitting right at the 100 episode mark, which is pretty cool. But I think we're done for the summer. The chassis on the X slot cars is pretty freaky. Yeah, John, I would agree. Yeah, it wasn't the best performing car. It looked great. Josh and I were laughing about it. He handed it to me. He's like, I don't know how well this is going to run on your track, and it was kind of squirrely. It was all over the place. Let's see what else. Scott, I don't know why I'm up this late. Scott, there's a handful of guys across the pond that join every week, and I just have to shout out to the they are truly diehard guys. I appreciate them. It's starting to rain now. Okay, Chris, I knew it was tonight and tomorrow. We got some rain coming. Reference taping a track just by Polycar. The connectivity is great. Yeah, Scott, Polycar is tough to get here in the States. There's not a lot of suppliers that carry it. So, and when it does get here, people buy it up. So we hear really good things about it. So I'm considered it. Jeff G. Marty, my buddy, has a wood track in his wet basement with copper tape. No issues. Going on 5 years, no issues. Jeff, that's cool. Yeah, I think, yeah, as long as it sticks. Yeah, I think that if you prep the surface before you put the tape down, you probably should be pretty good. Marty, do you have an opinion on Carrera Ford GT? Yeah, they're great. My brother has two. One he's beat the tar out of, and they both run really, really well. Yeah, I like the collection. They're good. There's a fair bit of 3D printable scenery, some track parts, borders, buildings. There are 4 or 5 sites with stuff. There you go. Hope that helps, Daniel. Let's see here. What else do we have? Question, Drake. Anyone hear anything on the release date for the Thunderslot Ferrari 350? I think we are. It's kind of like any day now, Drake. I haven't heard anything. I'm guessing mid-June. I think the target date was May 30th. And obviously that's come and gone. But I would say that sometime this month you'll see them start shipping. I'm expecting I pre-ordered from LEB, and I'm expecting to get that bill soon. But nothing official. But I'm excited about that car, Drake. It'll be a great addition to anybody's collection, but a great addition to Thunderslot's offering, having that Ferrari. Because I think I don't think there is no other Ferraris from Thunderslot. So this will be yep, John says it should be pretty soon. Apparently Parnelli Jones has passed on. Oh, really? I had not heard that. 90 years old. Yeah, rest in peace. He was quite the inventive, great driver. I mean, our owner, right? Like he just great for motorsports. So that's a sad day. Michael, I have a guitar. I won't say that I play guitar though. Tad, that is half the battle. That's exactly right. George offered some great soldering tips. Much appreciated. Yeah, George's videos are fantastic, Greg. GT and Class C, mostly digital, first on Carrera track. He wants to do analog, but I'm going to need practice a bit first. He's a bit of a car hoarder, going to be tiny nitrous. So Joshua, for GT, if you're running digital, you're probably trapped in the Carrera cars. But the performance will be pretty even. Class C, the Group C stuff is usually slotted. You can add a chip to run those digitally. But from a GT standpoint, really a big fan of the NSR GT cars. There's some great running cars. Are you doing a truck parade episode on the podcast? Dusty, actually, that was supposed to be our next person was some of the people that were putting that parade together, and we haven't been able to line up. So I don't know if it's going to happen before the parade or not, because that parade is in 2 weeks. Is that right? Thanks, Tad, for joining in. Take care, man. Yeah, love the Carrera 4 GT. It's a great car. Tad, been halfway there for 20 years now. That's great. Yeah, Dusty, thanks for mentioning that. The C8 is back in stock at Slot Car Corner. They posted like 3 days ago. So, yeah. Nobody could drive at 1110s like PJ could. Yeah, that's sad news. I mean, 90 that's a long life, especially if you think about it for a race car driver. Being in accidents and getting beat up all those years and racing into the time that Parnelli Jones raced. B2, Marty, stop giving ideas. Yeah, sorry, B2. That's funny. That is hilarious. Too funny. We could take a field trip and look at the test track. The C5R from BRM is probably my next buy. Greg, those look pretty good. He was apparently Weber. I would say that's a long, successful career in life to make it to 90 for sure. Well, man, say hi to Betty. To Fingers. June 15th or 16th, if you get Jack to come on the pod, you'll regret it quick. That's funny. I have made replicas of PJ's number 15 for lots of customers over the years. Vinyl racing numbers. That's cool. Field trip. Well, let me I gotta plug in a couple things here to make that work. Let's see. I just don't know how long Okay. So I'm going to have to do a mic check here, guys. So somebody let me know if you can hear this mic, because this mic's off. Now I'm on this mic. It looks like it's coming through. You should be able to hear me. All right. So if I go to here, now you have this, and hopefully this will reach. All right, looks like you still have me, maybe, hopefully. Hopefully you still have some audio. Hopefully you still have audio and some. So we're running at 12 volts. And I just wanted a test track to be able to run a few laps to make sure that cars run straight and smooth. And I do not know if this is coming in on the live stream, so I won't hang out here long. But so that's what we're looking at for the test track point. You can tell I've got a paint rack here from old paint cans. If I get rid of that, I have about 20 feet here. Well, 10, 18 feet. So I could go, 14 to 16 feet here, and I think I would be in good shape. And I've got plenty of room. This is my podcast room. I've got plenty of room. I could go a little wider if I wanted to, but that table right there is 4 feet wide. So I don't know if you guys got to hear any of that. So did you guys get to hear any of that? Coming in loud and clear. Good sound. Greg says the other wall looks longer. Let's see. Actually, I don't know. You mean the wall underneath the windows? I think it's the same size. I think it's about a 17 or 18 foot square. So I think I could go either way. Yes, we can see and hear you from the oval track. Cool. Good. I'm glad you could. So I could probably go back there a little bit, but I was worried that you guys... George, we heard you're going to solder now. So I'm going to go back there. Oh, gotta change. Yeah, I think this wall is longer. And I've got a tape measure. But right now is 9 feet. And yeah. So you can see I could go probably 12, 14, even 16 feet if I cleared this out, got rid of this, which might make for like fun wood track. I haven't cleaned the tires, so. And then I've got a timing to put on it. I've got can run smart race if I wanted to. I could run race coordinator. And so I think it would be good to have that set up. So the old JDAC Special runs pretty good. I'm running off this power supply just because it was laying there, but a regular Carrera power supply I'd put on it. I think we'll be all right. And then of course we've got the old standby. We could run some laps here. And I'm doing this so that I don't have to solder on air with George. Not that I don't want George to jump on. But guys, this retune, this was a great decision to put this car back on the track. And tires aren't clean, but it runs really, really well. Dirty track. Well, maybe. See what happens when you go live when you're not expecting to. fun car. These slotted GT40s are really good. It's locked in on the track. No complaints. I thought about changing the layout here. I've looked at quite a few different designs, and I think I've talked myself out of it. This is, for a 4-lane design, this is a lot of fun. I mean, obviously a majorly modified figure 8 design, but these S-turns really make it a lot of fun. Track's a little slow because it's dirty. We're running 5.4s. What else do we want to run? I cannot, guys, I apologize. All the way over there is the live chat. Here's the C8. We'll run a few laps with it. This still has the NSR guide, the stock guide. I do not like that guide. I want to put a slot invasion guide on it. Just need to place an order for some. But man, you're talking about a great running car. Whew. So there's where the guide gets it on the Carrera track, right? Dirty tires and all. Running 5.3s. If I clean the track and clean the tires, I'd probably be running 5.1s. A little overdriving. So that's a good car. Let me look at the comments. Apologize for not soldering. Hey Gary, welcome. It's like your road course track. Weber, you like my road course track. Thanks. It is a fun layout. Black 1997 Cobra. I like that design. Help me fix mine up. I'm happy to. Yeah, George, the GT40 has the ball bearing motor, 22.5. Great motor for that car. Really happy with it. It's a great car. Let's see. We'll put this one on the track. See how it runs. Yeah, this is a great. All you guys in your open wheel cars, this car's great. Quick, handles great. Good stuff. That's a great car. That's a great car. What else do we have laying here? Oh, we can run a sideways. Somebody was complaining about. Was it Steve? Sweeney, were you having problems? You had to do a lot of tuning on your sideways, right? Yeah, this is a good car. Five 4, 5.3s. All right there. There's a 5.3 fast lap. 5.35. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's a good car. I really like it. MP, if you're still on, here's my Fat Turbo. MP had some footage of him running at Ernie's track with the Fat Turbo. Yeah, I love this car. And it runs a 5.24 right off the bat. 5.21. Ooh, hung it out to dry. Doug, Ian, I have to apologize. I did not have the lights on. Kevin, got my racetrack scenic stuff out too. You guys know I'm not big on scenery, but these guys make some great stuff. Here we go with the fat turbo. Here's the NSR, or the Revo, the GT, GT1. It gets around. Ooh, popped around in the slot. I was getting ready to brag on it and say it likes to stay in the slot. I did overdrive it. Let me make an adjustment to the controller here. You guys are gonna laugh. I was watching on the screen back there instead of watching the car. So I ran a 5.4, so it's not far off pace. So Joshua, there should be some fast cars in there for you to choose from, so that you can give you can give them a run for their money. So let's go back to default. So good stuff. Fun to run some laps. Hopefully you guys didn't get too bored with that. Code, you like the snake section? Yeah. Every track I design has some S-turns. I really think that they just add a nice technical piece to the layout. I'm a fan of some S-turns, so I think that it does a good job. George, I'm sorry. Don't laugh. Nice flowing joints. Greg, you have still not been able to get Smart Race to work analog. I am trying to figure out what is going on. The only thing I can think of is, did you do the latest firmware update for the CU? Michael, we want solder with the torch. You guys are brutal. Do you live in an old fortress? Weber, I do not live in an old fortress, but I do live in an old house that has big, thick stone foundation walls. Yeah, they're probably 12 inches thick, so it might as well be a fortress. George, we heard you're going to solder now. So B2, hopefully Joshua got some ideas on cars to compete with you. That's funny. Apologize for not soldering. George, I'm so sorry for not soldering. The GT40 has a ball bearing motor. Okay, I went backwards for a minute. Weber, thanks, man. It is a great course. It fits on a 24 by this is a 24 by 8, but actually you wouldn't have to be 8. You could get away with about a 6 foot wide table, and it would fit. Might bump out on a few spots, but for the most part, it would fit on that. It is a fun layout. Yeah, Michael, I don't think I'm going to change it. It is a really good track. Nobody's home. What do I clean it with? I clean it with Windex. Just a damp cloth with Windex and wipe the whole track down once. It stays fairly clean. It's in this basement, and I've got old wood floors. And so when we walk upstairs, we run the sweeper, and so dust will come down through the floors. And so sometimes, when Gus was a little pup, I would find his accidents down here that had come through the floor. Yeah. So the things you deal with an old house. DK Moon saw more C8s in stock at LEB, so that was one of the 4 ordered. Orange, but trying the angle wider. Yeah, so good choice. I love the orange. It's great. It's a sidewinder. But I do have a angle winder pod to put on it to try. I just need to order an angle winder spur gear. Let's see, what else did I miss? You're welcome, Joshua. Without scenery, one wreck is just like the other. That's, yeah. Guess what we'll be doing on Area 51 Live? Soldering on camera. George, you are much better at it than I am, man. 5 demerits for not cleaning the tires. It was hard to drive, clean the tires, and video at the same time, John. I know. I'm full of excuses. Weber, this is the, it's back on the track. That is the 86 to 89 NSR F1. Great car. That used to belong to my my friend John Albright. Let's see here. What else do we have? Thanks. It is a fun layout. It's a good time, and especially when you have like 4 people on the track. Maybe the most fun on the track is to be Revo Slot Group 2 cars with 4 on the track. I've posted some footage of our races, and it just really doesn't get much better than that. The Can-Am races are great too. I mean, all of them are fun, but we just have a blast running those Group 2 cars. It's a good time. It's a really good time. Thanks, man. One day, George, we'll get a chance to run some laps with each other. I'm looking forward to that date. We'll make that happen. Can you see the track again, please? I'm happy to send you anything you need about the track. If you would like piece by piece of the layout, I can send that to you. Send me an email, thet5guy@gmail.com. It's in the description of my channel. Hit me up with an email, and I'll send you the link. The 2 Lions slot car bunker. Yeah, it is kind of like a bunker. What curves are you using to create your S curves? I can tell you exactly what they are. They are, let's see. So the S turns, I'm going to go to here. Oops. So straightaway, the blue are R15s, the green are 330s, orange are R1s, 160s, and yellows are 230s. So you come out of that turn into an R1, R2, then R2, R3, and then R3, R4, and then R4, R3. So that is the layout right now. And then you've got the corkscrew. You come down out of this, down the hill, and you can see what those pieces parts are. I will put the link out to this, because if I share the link, you guys can bring it up. So in the chat, there you go, guys. So hopefully that helps. So B2, those are my curves through the S turns. They are a lot of fun. Not going to blister the fingers soldering. Yeah, that's right. It's raining in turn 2. Yeah. So funny story about that, John. It wasn't turn 2. It was right coming down the hill right here. I'm down here running laps, and I look and I can see something coming down through the floor right on top of the track, and it's water. And at first I thought it was Gus having an accident, but he did have an accident with his water bowl, and he dumped a whole gallon of water. And luckily I was able to kill the power and get it wiped up before it got too crazy. Crap, I have trouble doing a video, let alone anything else. Steve, that's actually a really good idea. I thought about grabbing some plastic, but honestly, I'm on the track constantly, except for like the last month. So usually I'm down here almost every evening for a little bit anyway. Scratch building section on the main site has been updated with new videos. George, thanks, man. I appreciate all the work you're doing on helping guys with the scratch build. I hope that you get 75 cars sent in. I mean, I hope that there's a great turnout for the land barge. I'm pretty excited about that. It's just an old house. It's an old Victorian house. We love it. And it gives me space to build a track in the basement. So I'll take it. Here, what's crazy is I've got 3 times the space up in the attic, but the weather in the attic is not quite as good as the weather down here in the basement. Right now, today it was 85 degrees outside, and it was probably 115 in the attic with the exhaust fan going all day. Hey, George, could your Omnibox run a 4-lane Carrera track if you build one? Gary, his Omnibox is a 2-lane version. They do make a 4-lane version. So yeah, George, man, it's good. I can't wait till the proxy. I just got to get my car done. Dan Curry, Marty, what track designer is that for Mac? Thanks. Dan, if you take that link, it's Softybond Planner. It's a German website, so it runs. It's an HTML 3 or whatever. It's an app built into the browser. So if you go to softyroyal.de, SOFTYROYAL.de, it takes you right to it. If you use Chrome or Safari on Mac, it will translate into English, and it gives you've got all your track selections. It's good to go. It really is a nice, free, very accurate Carrera track planner, but that's the only track you can plan in it. Let's see. Yeah, George, I here's the thing. I think I've got the soldering figured out. Like watching your videos, you were right. I probably just was not holding the soldering iron on long enough. So maybe tonight we'll test it out and I'll get started on this chassis and see. But I'll reach out to you if I have any questions. But you've already answered so many of my questions. I need to stop procrastinating and just do it. Michael Squire, land barges, I've got 2 ready to go. Is there a limit on how many cars you can send in? You can send in 1 land barge, 1 zipper top, right? And then are they doing the 132nd showdown again too? Dirt track cars so like the Jake Dyke special that I built, I could resubmit that or build another 132nd scale. Just so everybody knows, this guy is in the slot car closet soldering. Very good, Danny. I like it. Hopefully you're working on your land barge. I have only soldered once before, but have confidence watching George's videos. Yeah, Code, I agree. He really does break it down very well. I'd love to build a 4-lane track, but I'm not sure 18-foot long is enough. Um, let's see. Actually, you just wouldn't have long straights, right? I mean, I'm trying to think. 20. Yeah, 18 is probably fairly small track, but again, it's four lanes. It'd be fun. It would be fun, but yeah, 18 is probably. See, this is 24. I mean, you're not that far. I mean, it's only 6 feet, so you could actually change this design here and just shorten that up and take this straight out right here and make that a loop, and you'd probably be pretty close to 18 feet. So, and it would be a very similar. Actually, I might draw that out for you, B2. I could just cut this off and shorten it and figure out what it would take to build it at 18 feet. And you could have something very similar to what I've got, the modified figure 8. Danny, when I read that in my head, I was like, it's getting hot in here. That's what I heard. It worked great, except I don't understand any German. Dan, if upper right-hand corner, like at the end of the address bar, is a little icon next to the, oh gosh, hang on. Right. I don't know if you can't see my cursor. And it doesn't show up. Oh, there it is. Up in the address bar, you can see there's a little, I forget what those little cloud things, like if you click that, that will translate everything into English. Translate, there we go. So you click that, translate to English, and now the website is translated into English. So there you go. That's how you do that. All right. Oh, hey. Go back to eCam. This has gotten crazy. There we go. Default. So that's how you translate. Easy peasy. The land barge is a side gig of the Showdown and the Strange View series. Okay. Thanks, George. I think I've asked that question before. So what that tells me is I really have like three cars to build. And if I find a zipper top, that would be 4 cars to build. Now I've procrastinated to the point where I don't know that I can get all that done. Appreciate it, but I love my straightaways. B2, it is like I've got this nice long straight down the middle, and it is nice. It gives you a chance to breathe when you're driving, right? When you're racing, you can catch your breath. You can relax just a second and then refocus once you get to that turn. The straightaways allow you to like stretch the legs of the cars a little bit and see how fast they'll go. So I get it. You hate to lose your big long straight. Danny, that's great. Go up 5 runs of track. There you go. Start stacking. DW Barker, soldering initially just adds more swear words to your vocabulary. Just don't yell them while the grandkids are close by. Ask me how I know. That's funny. Good stuff. Guys, thanks. This has been really good. We're sitting here at 9:35. We'll wrap things up for tonight. I will give you an update this week if I can get some stuff done on the land barge car. Let me know in the comments, if anybody's ordered some new slot cars this week. Again, check Bruce's site at cincyslots.com. He's been putting out a bunch of old cars that were slightly used at decent deals. So check out. There's one I probably just need to order it. keep dragging my feet, but I'm hoping that Thunder Slot Ferrari shows up here before too long. So, guys, great stuff. Thanks for joining tonight. I really appreciate it. Before I bail, Dan has another question. You're using, yep, the same thing happens in, it's in the same location in Chrome as well. If you hover over it, it will ask you to, if you want to translate. So Chrome will do it as well. Gina, thanks for tuning in. Good to have you tonight. Thanks. Steve, we got a lot accomplished. We talked a lot about slot cars. Good stuff. Good night, Marty. Great show. Appreciate that, Doug. Thanks for tuning in. Can you build me a car, please? What kind of car are you wanting, Cobra? Are you wanting a scratch build car, or are you wanting like a fly car tuned? Yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to build some cars for people. Give them some tuned cars that are Marty Ford tuned. I don't know how they would run on your track, but they should run pretty good on my track. So guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Get out there and go have some fun racing. Get back on the tracks. I know it's summertime, but get back on the track.